Hi guys, I'm Takira. Welcome back to my channel. As you guys saw in the title, I am going to be showing you guys my top 8 day and night perfumes for each season. So as you saw, it is a tag video and I was tagged by the lovely Becky, aka Rebecca Collazo, here on YouTube to do this video. Not gonna lie, it stressed me out, but I love Becky, so for her I worked through the stress and I actually have 9 fragrances here, but I asked Becky if it was okay if I cheated, and she was perfectly okay with that. So I did cheat a little bit, but you'll see why once I share that with you guys. But we are just going to go ahead and jump right in. But before we do that, it is hot as hell here. So I do have my fan on and I do have the air on. So hopefully you guys can't see that or it's not annoying to you. But yeah, I couldn't turn it off this time because I would literally be sweating bullets and y'all don't want to see that. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm not going to be reading the main accords to you guys in this video off of Fragrantica, but I always leave Fragrantica link down in my description box. So if you guys are interested in reading the main accords, seeing what notes are in the fragrance, reading reviews, all that good stuff, Fragrantica is a great place to see all that. So just check down in the description box for the link if you're interested in that, and all you have to do is search the fragrance up and you'll see everything you need to see. So with that all being said, the first season I'm going to start with is spring. So for my spring daytime fragrance, I chose Giorgio Armani C Fiori. Here's what that looks like. And you guys have heard me talk about this fragrance in it was a haul video I did. I think that's the only fragrance, no, haul video and the spring fragrance video I talked about this fragrance in. And I love this, y'all. My feelings have not changed about it. I still think it smells exactly how I said in those videos. It's like this sweet powdered bubblegum and like a buttery vanilla type of fragrance to me. And that's how it smells like on my skin. It's really beautiful. And yeah, the heat I feel like helps this fragrance to shine a bit more, so I think it's perfect for spring here in Florida. That is important to note as well. I live in Florida. Our seasons are different from a lot of places. Spring here is between like 80 and 90 degrees usually is what the temperature is like here in spring. Sometimes some days are like 70 something degrees, but typically between like 80 and 90 degrees is our spring, so it's still pretty hot. But yeah, that is my first pick for spring. So my nighttime fragrance pick is from Layered, or Be Layered, and it is Caramel Overdose. Here's what that looks like. Y'all, I am obsessed with this. I will say most of these fragrances that I'm sharing with y'all, I will wear year round. I'm a firm believer in wearing what you want to wear when you want to wear it. So this is one of those fragrances, of course, I wear year round, but I picked this for my spring nighttime fragrance because I've been wearing it recently and I feel like it performs really well in the heat, even though some might consider this more of a fall winter scent. And the name is misleading in my opinion. It's called Caramel Overdose, but me personally, on my skin, I don't smell any caramel. To me, this smells a bit citrusy, almost like it may have like orange blossom in it. It's like a citrusy marshmallow, bubblegum, and Coca-Cola scent. That's what I get from this. And the Coca-Cola scent in this is almost like what a Coca-Cola would smell like on the verge of losing its carbonation, in my opinion. I know it's like the weirdest description, but that's literally what it smells like to me. And y'all, this is a dupe for a expensive niche fragrance. I find this to be a dupe. It's very similar to this particular fragrance. And the fragrance I'm talking about is Love Don't Be Shy by Kilian. I have sampled it because I saw a review on Fragrantica saying that they were similar and I had been interested in that fragrance. So I went ahead and purchased a sample of it to see if they were similar because I had already tested out this one. And y'all, the scent that they project is about, I'd say 95% similar, at least 95% similar. I will say the Love by Kilian is a bit more refined, but this one does not smell cheap. It smells like it's a good quality fragrance and the performance is great. It projects on my skin for at least a good 3 hours, so I'm getting whiffs of it for the entire time, and it lasts on my skin and also on my clothing for at least like 8 hours. So that is my spring nighttime pick. And spring nighttime here, the temperature is normally in like the 70s, 60s, 70 degrees. usually between like 70 and 80 degrees. So not super hot, but not cold either. This is perfect for that in my opinion. So summer, my summer daytime pick is where I cheated, okay? And the reason why is because Becky said in her video that she was picking fragrances that she would keep in her collection if her entire collection were to crash and burn, okay? So I wanted to be honest with you guys and share what fragrances I would wear for my daytime summer pick if that were to be the case, because I didn't want to lie to y'all. So that's why I cheated realistically. I cheated because I didn't want to lie to y'all. I wanted to keep it real. Technically it's 2 fragrances, but I don't see myself wearing them separately ever again. So I don't think it's really cheating, but anyway, the fragrances that I'm talking about are Fancy by Jessica Simpson. And this is a celebrity fragrance, of course. You guys have seen this on my channel. And Versace Dylan Blue. Y'all have seen this on my channel as well. Now, the reason why I have these 2 in here is because I like to layer them together. And I got this combination idea from my boo Maria, aka it's MJ here on YouTube. I'll leave her channel link down in the description box as well. If you guys aren't checking her out, you should be, okay? Make sure y'all subscribe to her as well. And I see some of y'all be watching my videos and not subscribing, so make sure you subscribe here too. But Maria, she was talking about this combination in one of her videos. She happened upon it. She had on, I think, Dylan Blue, and then later she sprayed on Fancy. And she said she was in the car smelling them, and she kept smelling something that smelled so good. She was like, what the heck is that? And she realized it was those 2 fragrances together on her skin. So I was like, well, let me try this. I don't really layer my fragrances like ever. I don't really know why. I think it's because when I'm reaching for a fragrance, I want to smell that particular fragrance and just that fragrance by itself. I don't want anything to interfere with it. But these were 2 fragrances that I wasn't really reaching for like that. So I figured layering them didn't really hurt because I wasn't even reaching for them. So if I could layer them and I really liked the combination, I would reach for them more. And that was exactly what happened. So what I like to do is layer Fancy down first. And Fancy to me is a sweet caramel, vanilla, almondy, a bit powdery, gourmand fragrance. So y'all know I love Fancy, but I have other gourmands in my collection that I love more than Fancy, so I don't reach for it a whole lot. And Dylan Blue, I told you guys in my haul video that I love the initial spray of Dylan Blue, but I'm not a huge fan of the dry down. So that's why I layer down Fancy first. So that's like my base, and then I let that dry, spray on Dylan Blue, and y'all, it's amazing. Like, it's one of those combinations I know I can reach for and just know I smell good. I don't need nobody to confirm it. I don't need that in general anyway, but it's just like I spray it on and I know I smell good. It makes me confident that I smell good, if that makes sense. And like MJ said in her video, it smells like caramel apple together when you combine these 2 fragrances, and it is amazing. If you guys have both of these fragrances in your collection, try layering them and let me know what you think. If you love it, go to MJ's channel and thank her. So yeah, that is my summer daytime, or those are my summer daytime picks. So my summer nighttime pick, my baby, this is La Nuit Trésor Nude by Lancome. Y'all, I am obsessed. Well, obviously, if it's in this video, I apparently love it because I'm picking them if my collection were to crash and burn. So obviously I love them. But I felt like this would be summer appropriate, and I think I forgot to mention, but summer here is between 90 and 100 and something degrees. Normally it's in the high 90s, early 100 degree area, and nighttime is between 80 and 90 degrees normally here in the summertime. But this fragrance to me smells like a sweet coconut cream and vanilla fragrance, and it's so good, y'all. Oh my gosh. And it projects on my skin for a good few hours. I'd say about 3 hours. And I feel like the heat helps to improve the performance of this fragrance as well. It's one of those fragrances that is amplified by the heat. This might actually be my favorite La Nuit, maybe, but that could change tomorrow, who knows. So yeah, that is my summer nighttime fragrance. So for my fall daytime fragrance, I picked another Lancome fragrance. I love Lancome fragrances, apparently. But my fall daytime scent that I picked is Lancome La Vie Belle Intense Mint. I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but I love this. This is sweet. I don't really get much of the La Vie Belle DNA in this particular flanker. Like if I smell this without knowing it was a La Vie Belle flanker, I probably wouldn't guess that it was. Y'all know I have issues with the original La Vie Belle. I find it to be, I like the scent, but it's a bit headache inducing and a bit cloying for me. This does not do that to me. And that's because I think it may be because it's not as strong as the original is, even though it's called Intense Mint. It's definitely, it doesn't project as much, it's not as heavy. It smells like a sweet raspberry, vanilla, and almond fragrance on my skin to me. It projects enough. It has like a moderate projection. I get whiffs for a few hours, about 3 hours I get whiffs of it. And you can definitely smell it on me. I can smell it on me at least. The patchouli notes in this one is way down back. I don't really smell it hardly at all on my skin. And I think the patchouli might be what caused the original. The patchouli mixed with the sweet notes in the original, I think, are what caused me to feel nauseous or get a headache. But that doesn't happen at all with this one. So I highly recommend this one. Love it. And that is my fall daytime pick. Fall here in the daytime is between, it's still pretty warm actually, our fall is. It's between probably, I'd say between like 70 and 80 degrees. Usually you might get some days where you have like 60 something degree weather. Those are, oh, I love those days. But fall here is very short-lived, if we even get it. But that would be my daytime fall pick. So my nighttime fall pick is another Lancome. I have 3 Lancome fragrances in this countdown. So I guess that shows you that I love Lancome. But this is one y'all have heard me talk about, and y'all already know I love this. This is the original La Nuit Trésor by Lancome. I couldn't leave this out. Like, I thought about if my collection were to crash and burn, and I'm like, I gotta have her by my side. I don't get to wear her often because I feel like she is a strictly nighttime fragrance because of that darkness. But I still love her so much. She's sexy. This is sexy. So you do get the patchouli in this. So if you don't like patchouli, I don't know how you feel about this fragrance. The patchouli in this is more green. It's not like that dirty patchouli scent that patchouli can sometimes have. But yeah, this is a sweet, I get strawberry. The fruit note that I get in this most is strawberry. A sweet strawberry, praline, and caramel scents. It's a bit smoky as well. There's some smokiness to this. I think that's what adds to the sexiness of it. She's sexy, or smexy, as MJ would say. And I love her. Fall nighttime here is probably between like 60 and 70 degrees. So this one projects. I don't find this to be as heavy as a lot of people say it is, on me at least. The projection at least is not heavy. The sillage, I don't think that's heavy either, personally. I don't know if it's just me, but she projects enough to last in the fall. That's why I picked her for my fall instead of my winter, because I feel like it isn't strong enough to project through like cold, or what I consider cold weather. But yeah, that's La Nuit Trésor, the original by Lancome, and she's my baby. So for winter daytime, I picked Burberry Her Intense. I love her. I don't know why I keep saying that. Obviously, if they're in this video, I love them. But winter here is usually between like 50 and 60 degrees in the daytime. And to me, that's cold. Because that's what I know as cold, you know? Burberry Her Intense to me smells like syrupy berries and benzoin. And benzoin to me smells like this, it's like a sweet vanillic medicinal note. So this fragrance is like syrupy berries and sweet medicinal vanilla. And I'm obsessed. Medicinal vanilla probably does not sound good, but y'all, she's so good. And this performs well. Like projection wise, it projects I would say it projects probably just about the whole time I'm wearing it. I get whiffs of it continuously throughout the day, and it lasts very well on the skin as well. I say I get a good at least 8 hours, so I'd say 8 hours plus from this particular fragrance. And I haven't worn it in the cold weather yet, but I've been wearing it in the heat. Like I said, I wear what I want when I want to. I personally feel like this performs really well in the heat as well. I feel like it's not super sweet or overwhelming, so it doesn't really offend me or make me feel sick or give me a headache or anything. If I wear it in the heat, I feel like it actually does well in the heat. So I think I would wear this year round, but I just know it's gonna do really well in the cold weather, so that's why I have it picked as my winter daytime fragrance. And again, that is Burberry Her Intense. So last but not least, we have my winter nighttime fragrance. And for that, I picked Marc Jacobs Decadence. It's my baby. And I love the packaging. I know some people hate it, but I think it's super cute. It's like a little purse, and I think it's adorable. Yes, it's gaudy, but I love it. And honestly, I think I'm in the minority when it comes to people who actually enjoy this fragrance. I'm wearing this today, actually. Yes, it's hot here, but people don't really say this, but I feel like it does really well in the heat. I've been outside and everything, and it wasn't overwhelming. It just smelled nice. Now, I know people don't like it because they say it smells like pickle juice. So when I first sampled this fragrance, because I sampled it before I purchased it. I just recently purchased this because I was looking for a good deal on it, and I finally found a decent deal on it. So I went ahead and snagged it up, but I had already tested it and knew I loved it before I got it. I tested this actually in winter time, so I know it works well in cold weather. But people say it smells like pickle juice. I feel like if I hadn't seen reviews that said it smelled like pickle juice, the thought that it smells like pickle juice wouldn't have even crossed my mind. But since I was looking for it, I can see to a certain extent why people say it smells like pickle juice. To me, it's a sweet, ripe plum with like smoky, woody notes, and it's a bit green as well. And I think that combination kind of can make it smell like pickle juice, like I guess you could say. I only get that if I like sniff the spots that I sprayed the fragrance on directly. That's the only time I really get like a little bit of pickle juice. It honestly is not anything that's, you know, is overwhelming or super strong. I'm not walking around smelling like pickle juice when I'm wearing this fragrance, okay? Just, we're gonna say that. I'm smelling how I told you guys, like a sweet plum, smoky, woody, green scent. And it's amazing. The performance is really great on this as well. I don't find it to be super heavy like some people do, because I spray it the same way I spray like my lighter fragrances. I spray quite a bit of this on, and I don't think it's like all that heavy on me, at least. But I do know, since I wore it in the wintertime, that it does perform well in cold weather. It's going to project. You're going to be able to smell it, and you're going to be able to smell it for a while. I think it projects on my skin, I'd say a good few hours, maybe 3-4 hours. And it lasts, I'd say a good at least 8 hours as well. So yeah, that is my winter nighttime pick, and that is Marc Jacobs Decadence. So yeah guys, that was my last fragrance. If you ask me tomorrow even what my top day and night picks for each season would be, it would probably be different, because I literally change my mind every day. Some of these have been switched out quite a few times as well, but I finally decided on these ones at this moment. But yeah, that doesn't mean that the fragrances that I told you guys that I love in previous videos, that doesn't mean that I don't still love them. It just means that they didn't quite make this particular lineup. So I will of course have Becky's video linked down in my description box. Make sure y'all go check her out like I said, and subscribe while you're there. I'm gonna link Maria's channel down in the description box as well. She was actually tagged by Becky to do this video as well, and her video is already up, so y'all can go check hers out as well. And I actually am going to tag some people here as well that I want to see do this video, because I enjoy watching their videos and I'd love to see what they pick. So I am looking down because I had a list of people that I wanted to tag in this video, and I don't want to forget anybody because I will forget if I don't put it down in my notes or whatever. So I want to tag Melissa Jean, Simply Aisha, Valley Vaughn, Pika Fragrance Reviews, Queen Cons, Lisa Lee, and Perfume Lover 80. Like I said, I enjoy watching all their channels. Perfume Lover 80 in particular, her name is Terry. She is another Southern Belle, so if you love Southern Belles, then of course you'll love her as well. She's from Mississippi as well originally. Y'all know I'm from Mississippi. That's my home state. I'm from the SIP. And so, yeah, she's another Southern Belle. So if you love me, then I'm sure you'll love her channel. And everybody else as well that I listed. I really enjoy watching them, and I think y'all enjoy watching them as well. So yeah, that is it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And also, let me know down in the comments what your picks would be for your day and night seasonal fragrance picks. But yeah, bye guys.